Rock arches that scientists or people say that are caused by wind. Um, Out in the Mojave Desert and different places, there are these arches, and or in certain places there'll be like this arch, right? And with a big clear path underneath. And I've seen them before, and I've looked at them, and for a minute I forgot what they were. But needless to say, a long, long time ago, well, fairly long time ago, I had this little project which was building dams out of rock. I built a lot of dams out of rock, actually. Um, Before concrete, when water was more prevalent, I guess you could say. But there, I had a little project of mine which was chiseling rock dams out of, or dams out of rock. It was one of the first things a long, long, long time ago, or at least something I tried at one point. But excuse me, I'd have a mine or something, or I want to do a mine and I need power for it, or I forget exactly how it worked, but basically I was mining, and so in order to do the rock crushing and stuff, I would have um, a rock dam chiseled out with a big area underneath, and I think they were all water. Although I might have tried some wind ones too, just for fun. I think they were all water because water was more prevalent back then. Anyway, though, but there's these big arches, and inside those arches would have been a big wooden water wheel or something, and they ran for quite a while. This was back when the Earth was different, I suppose. I just remember them as being something very, very old that I did, or something like that. And I messed around with using them for wind as well. But mostly, I believe they're water. But there's a few of those, quite a few of those. Because I used to shape the ground a lot back then. Not too much, because I never asked my people to do too much. I mean, I was paying them, and of course, I mean, this was real money, or real value, something of value. I forget how it worked back then. Anyway, though, there are mines, like I did mines and dams everywhere for thousands of years, to run the textiles, to run the the bellows, to run the sewing machines. Like I said, I believe all the sewing machine manufacturers, or at least the biggest ones, um, all the dams, all the mining operations for a long time. I mean, I own the world probably 3 or 4 times over, easy. Where I had actually invented so much stuff that basically I own the world pretty much. Well, I mean, I like to invent my own stuff. I don't know if there was other people who invented stuff, but I really like to do my own thing. Um, like in my store, I wanted all the store items to be things that I had invented, or things that were made because of my inventions. It was just one of those things. I mean, maybe there are other things available, but I just wanted my stores or my little store to have my stuff. Anyway, though, so basically, what that led to is a whole bunch of water wheels. I mean, I was number one rock crusher. I started out with a stamp press and moved on to a rock crushing machine. Run by water wheel, of course, because water wheels were free, free power, and it used to rain a lot in a lot of different places. Um, and then I could just pay my employees. I like to just, why spend money or effort, and it was more about pay. It's also about like, they don't have to do the mining for the coal. They don't have to do the this or that. They could just, run the machines off the water. Like I say, I had barges that you could just anchor inside of a river, and basically get free power off of the river. And mobile barges, and they're like modular units and all that. It's kind of been forgotten to time and space or something, because I don't know why, because they were really successful. I mean, you could just take them up any stream, anchor them, and then run a sawmill, run a textile, run whatever. And a lot of people used them. I had my own little private fleet, if I remember. I do remember I had at least 3 or 4 ships. I did a test thing, and I think I had 6 or 7 ships or something like that, which were basically a mobile textile, a mobile sawmill, and maybe even a mobile forge. I'm not exactly sure, but I had a couple different things that were mobile, and you could just anchor them, and then they would use the water wheel for power. The mobile ships, and I guess they were used in Hong Kong and basically all over. They could go anywhere pretty much. I think they're about 120 feet long or so. I'm not sure. There might have been some bigger ones, some 200 footers. I'm not sure. And I don't really remember where they were built at. But they're basically mobile sawmills and a mobile textile. You just go up and, do textile stuff and run it off of the river. So, anyway, it was a long time ago. And they're all gone now, of course. But they weren't. They didn't use a paddle wheel to drive them. They drove the machinery off the paddle wheel, and then used hemp rope or what's called or bamboo lines to secure them. And I think the Japanese or Chinese probably used them too. I did a lot of stuff, and then when I was done with them, of course, it's like I'm done with them. I don't know. I mean, I think I loaned out a couple actually, or whatever. I mean, usually when I was done with something, or after I'd gotten my money out of it, or whatever, my use out of it, I'd be like, whatever, I don't really care. Someone else can use it, and then I would go on to my bigger, better things. I was always doing something bigger, so I like to test things, I like to try things, and then after I was done with it, I was like, oh well, whoever wants to use it, and I think I would rent it out first, and then just let them have it or whatever. I forgot about a lot of things. I was like, yeah, I'm busy over here. But I mean, I do remember that now. I had one of the first cotton fields or test cotton farms. I had the first corn ever. If you go back in Roman times, I had the first corn stuff, and they were doing stuff to make corn better. I had a lot of stuff. Spent a lot of money on research. It's kind of funny to think of Caesar as spending money on water wheels and research, but I was. That's what made me different. When everybody else was doing whatever, I was doing water wheels, spending money on research, trying to get paints for the first time, trying to get colors for the first time, trying to get white paint for the first time, Well, a lot of people don't ever think of Rome as this research and development giant, but that's what I was doing. I mean, I invented a lot of stuff myself, and when I run out of things that I could invent, or when I just paid people to help me fix up my stuff. I was basically worldwide, always was, and didn't really stop. 1909 or 1906, I was still building away, building my country actually. I had built in a lot of other countries, and best. As far as I know, the best boss that anybody ever knew, because, I mean, we did wacky cool stuff, we did normal stuff, we did, dirigibles. I mean, I would just be like, okay, here's $36 million. Let's go do dirigibles. I'm thinking about doing it like this, and that would happen. Suddenly, all of a sudden, dirigibles. In fact, even they had dirigibles at one of the colleges. I was a really, really, really just a great guy. And I love to invent. I love to build. That's all I did, really. Building one dam after another, inventing cars, having cars built, being like, oh, well, give me 3 of those cars. I like that engine. Let's do 2 of those. Yeah, that's cool. I'll offer a car for like $150. And a Model T. Model T was probably always worth like $3,000 or something, or equivalent of like umpteen, way more expensive than most people could afford. But I wanted to get the price down, and I could set the price where I wanted. I had my own mine, so it's like, well, I mined the minerals for basically for free, so and I basically offered something that I really shouldn't have offered. But I mean, I figured in the long run it'll work out. It did. So. Anyway, a lot of people know it, but anyway, lots and lots of dams, lots and lots of free energy. That was my thing. Anyway.